organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we'll tell you how the University of Iowa is keeping students safe during late-night study sessions.
And find out what initiative local bars are trying to get onto Iowa City ballots.
And in sports, we talk Orb, Money, and Atlantis.
All that and much more is coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning into your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Anna Theodosis. With finals only a week away, students are sure to be seen studying on the campus late into the night. The University of Iowa's Canbus system will be catering to those long study sessions by adding a new late-night service during finals week. The inter-dorm service will bus students from 12:30 to 2:30 a.m. The idea was proposed by UI student government in the fall, but there wasn't enough time to implement it until this semester. The extra Canbus hours will cost $800 for the week that they are in operation.
The Iowa City Farmers Market first opened in August of 1972 and started out with only 13 vendors selling on Saturday mornings. Over the past 40 years, it has continued to grow to over 50 vendors on Wednesdays and 140 on Saturdays. Daily Iowan TV's Kelsey Cuniff has the details.
Many of the Iowa City locals look forward to Saturday mornings and Wednesday nights. This is because the Iowa City Farmers Market had its opening day on May 4th. The market runs May through October and is something many of the residents are very excited about.
I started coming to the farmers market last summer when I lived here, and I was amazed by how many people just come out and are buying things and people that are selling such unique products. It's a really fun atmosphere and it's energetic and food's good, there's free samples, and it's a good time.
The market features locally grown produce, coffee, crafts, and some of the best food in town. Matt George's stand, Griddle Me This, started up 3 years ago and has seen nothing but success for his breakfast foods.
Well, we sold out in 3 hours today. I keep bringing more food down here and everybody keeps buying it, so I don't know what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get another trailer, I guess.
The farmers market continues to help local businesses with the goal to serve the community and act locally. Kelsey Cuniff, Daily Iowan TV.
The Iowa City Farmers Market runs from 5 to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays and 7:30 a.m. to noon on Saturdays through the end of October.
Opponents of the 21 ordinance are trying to get the issue back on the ballots. The two bar owners filed paperwork to repeal the initiative on Monday. In order for residents to get the chance to vote on it, they'll need at least 2,500 signatures. The ordinance was put into effect in June 2010 and upheld in the November election later that year by 52 to 48% of the vote. Currently, students under the age of 21 must leave bars without an exemption by 10 p.m. From 2010 to 2012, there have been 429 offenses of students being in the bars after hours. Iowa City Mayor Matt Hayek says the age change led to a more safe and balanced downtown.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of Lucas Elementary in Iowa City. The school's superintendent and previous faculty members spoke at a celebration event about why they have enjoyed Lucas Elementary.
We have a proud tradition of neighborhood schools in Iowa City, and this school really serves and has served over a long period of time as an anchor for this community. It's really been a source of consistency as the community has grown around it. We talked about the changes in the enrollment over time. It certainly shows the health of the community, and I think that's one of the special reasons that we're here today.
And I always felt that Lucas was always at the top edge of everything that was going on in the district, and if the teachers at Lucas approved of it, then they would go ahead with the rest of the schools.
Lucas Elementary invites friends and family to celebrate the milestone and look back on how the school has grown in the last 50 years.
The former location of Teaspoons on East Market Street will soon become the Higher Ground Cafe. The cafe is owned by 24-year-old Wesley Ward as his first business venture. While Teaspoons still has a location open in the Old Capitol Mall, the management had issued a statement to customers in regards to the Market Street location closing last month, saying, quote, "Sadly, some good things must come to an end," end quote. And when we come back, find out who is not running in the 2014 Iowa Senate race.
And in sports, we'll learn more about the men's basketball team's battle for Atlantis.
But before all that, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Mary LaPlaca for the weather this week. Mary?
Thank you, Anna. After a pretty ugly weekend, Iowa City can expect a much nicer week ahead. Tomorrow will mark another gorgeous day in Iowa City as the morning will start off at 50 degrees. The afternoon will reach a high of 71 degrees and partly cloudy, and the night will end nice and warm at 70 degrees. As we look into our 6-day forecast, Monday will be a high of 77 degrees and partly cloudy. It will reach almost 80 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday will cool down a little bit at 73 degrees and a 60% chance of thunderstorms. Friday will continue those rain showers, but it'll still be warm at 77 degrees. Saturday will end the week dry but partly cloudy at 70 degrees. That's it for this week. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mary. The Iowa Supreme Court ruled on Friday that same-sex couples can now put both of their names on their child's birth certificate. The 6-0 vote requires the Iowa Department of Public Health to start listing both parents, giving them the same rights granted to the opposite-sex marriages. The case was brought on by a 2009 lawsuit by Heather and Melissa Gartner, who were only able to put one of the mother's names on their daughter's birth certificate. Iowa had been the only state until now that allowed same-sex marriage, but not a place for both names on the certificate.
Representative Steve King announced Friday that he will not be seeking the Senate seat vacated by Tom Harkin's retirement. King was a potential GOP candidate whose possible Senate run had been questioned even by his own party due to concerns over his ability to win the election or secure fundraising. King made the announcement on his Twitter, stating also, quote, "A Senate race takes me out of urgent battles in Congress that can't wait until 2015. Many thanks to all," end quote.
Now, let's take a look at what is happening outside of Iowa. Mexico celebrates Cinco de Mayo today, marking 151 years since its victory in the Battle of Puebla while fighting for freedom. U.S. officials are working to strengthen relationships with Mexico. President Obama recently returned from Mexico as a part of his Latin America trip, where he emphasized the importance of a strong economic relationship between the U.S. and Mexico.
8 security force members and 30 militants and criminal suspects died Sunday as a result of an insurgent attacks and military operations in Pakistan. One attack was on the convoy of an independent candidate running in Pakistan's parliamentary elections. 2 of the candidate's police officers were killed in the attack. The area is considered a lawless district that has allowed al-Qaeda-linked organizations and gangs to operate.
A 46-year-old referee died Sunday after being punched in the face by a 17-year-old soccer player. Ricardo Portillo was punched after calling a foul on a player and using a yellow card. Portillo had been rushed to the hospital after the punch, where he slipped into a coma. The soccer player hasn't been named due to his age and is currently booked in juvenile detention. And while it sure was a busy weekend for Hawkeye Athletics, let's take it over to the Daily Iowan Sports Studio, where our own Allie Wright is standing by.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. We have a lot to get to on this Sunday edition of the program. We talk a horse named Orb, a boxer named Money, and a battle for Atlantis. But we start with Kirk Ferentz's Iowa Hawkeyes, who go into their campaign facing a daunting task, turning around a program who hit rock bottom last season after losing 6 straight games to end the season. So who will Kirk's crew look to in order to turn things around? The Hawks head man spoke to the media and gave fans of the black and gold 2 names to follow this upcoming season. Let's kick things off on the offensive side of the ball.
Is he a guy who can maybe help you in a couple positions, not only running back but in the slot or something?
Yeah, we talked about injuries and so Jordan probably could have played at the end of last year. I'm not sure it would have been prudent, but he was moving around pretty well. But he wasn't getting tackled either, and that's the last hurdle for any back or skilled player. But he's really done a nice job this spring.
Canzeri, of course, missed the 2012 season for the Hawks while recovering from a knee injury. Carl Davis also battled through injuries last fall on the defensive side of the ball, but his head coach has been impressed with the development of his prized linemen throughout spring ball.
Get a guy like Carl who really hasn't played that many snaps from the line of scrimmage, but he clearly has taken a step this spring. So that was really good to see, and he's a big guy who's capable. He's got a great attitude, and I think he's finally starting to develop the confidence that it takes to play successfully. So there's no way to hand a player that. They've got to go out and earn that, and it happens for him at different times. But I think he's not there yet, but he's certainly on the road, and this is his best period of football for us since he's been on campus.
Iowa football not the only team on campus making headlines during their offseason. The Iowa men's hoops team upgraded their non-conference slate for next season. Fran's bunch will be participating in the Battle for Atlantis tournament next winter, a field that includes a number of marquee programs. What exactly does that mean for the Hawks? Our own Josh Bolander explains.
Yeah, Allie, while most University of Iowa students will most likely be walking to classes on a campus that looks like this, or even this in late November, the Iowa men's basketball team will be kicking off their winter under the sun after announcing they'll be competing in the Battle for Atlantis tournament during Thanksgiving weekend in the Bahamas. And while the Hawks will certainly be looking to turn the heat up on their competition, the Battle for Atlantis is notorious for pitting highly talented teams against each other early in the season. This year's field includes perennial powers Kansas, Xavier, and Villanova, as well as a number of other highly talented teams from the nation's toughest conferences, meaning Fran's boys will find out just exactly what they're made out of early in 2013. Perhaps the two biggest players with the most to gain from this new tournament, senior Devin Marble and second-year center Adam Woodbury. Marble, who was simply splendid for the Hawks in their run to New York and an NIT championship game appearance last season, will have a chance to silence the non-believers, who will almost definitely be looking at the point forward under the microscope after the Southfield, Michigan native failed to show up in several big games for the Hawks throughout last season. The heat will also be on for 7-footer Adam Woodbury, whose subpar debut season has skeptics ready to see just how much the big man has improved in the offseason. And with plenty of competition to go around in the Battle for Atlantis, we won't have to wait too long for the answer. Allie, back to you in the studio.
A lot going on outside of the world of Hawkeye athletics during our programming break, so we're here in the sports studio, thought a weekend rewind was in order. We start in Las Vegas, where Floyd Money Mayweather kept his undefeated record intact, taking home a record purse and a WBC welterweight title after unanimously defeating Robert Guerrero in 12 rounds. Mayweather will earn at least $32 million for the fight after taking a year off from the sport to handle legal issues. And transitioning from the ring to the track, the big winner in the Kentucky Derby Saturday afternoon was Orb, who outran the rest of the field on a rainy afternoon at Churchill Downs. The horse was ridden by jockey Joel Rosario and will look to become the first horse to win a Triple Crown since affirmed in 1978. One last update before we get you out of here. Both softball and baseball on the road Sunday afternoon, but only one of those teams getting a positive result. The softball Hawks brought out the broom for their first game of a three-game series with Purdue, 8-2 in the final score in that one. Jack Dom's club not so lucky, though, falling in Ann Arbor to Michigan 4-3. More on both those contests coming tomorrow, but for now we are out of time. Guys, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sally. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the pages of Monday's edition of the Daily Iowan. Find out more about how students led a fundraising event for a mobile clinic.
And find out more on the launch of the College of Education's new brand.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. To keep up to date with the Daily Iowan, follow us on Twitter at DITV News. And be sure to check us out tomorrow at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.